Welcome to Principles of Marketing. We'll be looking at Chapter 13, Supply Chain Management and the Marketing Channels. The learning outcomes for Chapter 13 include defining the terms supply chain and supply chain management and discussing the benefits of supply chain management, discussing the concepts of internal and external supply chain integration, and explaining why each of these types of integration is important, identifying the 8 key processes of excellent supply chain management, and discussing how each of these processes affect the end consumer. Understanding the importance of sustainable chain management to modern business operations, discussing how new technology and emerging trends are impacting the practice of supply chain management, explaining what marketing channels and channel intermediaries are and describing their functions and activities, describing the common channel structures and strategies and the factors that influence their choice. And last, discussing the omni-channel and multi-channel marketing in these both B2B and B2C structures and explaining why these concepts are important. Make sure you review all course content and read the chapters for this module. Let's get started. When firms practice good supply chain management, their functional departments or areas such as marketing, research and development, and our production are integrated both within and across the linked firms. Integration, then, is how excellent supply chain management works. Business processes are composed of bundles of interconnected activities that stretch across firms and supply chain. They represent key areas that some or all of the involved firms are constantly working on to reduce costs and or generate revenues for everyone throughout supply chain management. There are 8 critical business processes on which supply chain managers must focus: customer relationship management, customer service management, demand management, order fulfillment, manufacturing flow management, supplier relationship management, product development and customer commercialization, and returns management. Customer relation management, also known as CRM, enables companies to prioritize their marketing focus on different customer groups according to each group's long-term value to the company or supply chain. Once higher value customers are identified, firms should focus more on providing customized products and better service to these groups. The CRM process includes customer segmentation by value and developing customer loyalty for the most attractive segments. This process provides a set of comprehensive principles for the initiation and maintenance of customer relationship and is often carried out with assistance of specialized CRM computer software. Whereas the CRM process is designed to identify and build relationships with good customers, the customer service management process is designed to ensure that those customer relationships remain strong. The customer service management process presents a multi-company, unified response system to the customer whenever complaints, concerns, questions, or comments are voiced. When the process is well executed, it can have a strong positive impact on revenues and often result in a quick positive response to negative customer feedback, and sometimes even in form of additional sales gained through the additional customer contact. Customers expect service from the moment a product is purchased until it is disposed of, and the customer service management process allows for the touch points between the buyer and seller throughout this life cycle. The demand management process seeks to align supply and demand throughout the supply chain by anticipating customer requirements at each level and creating customer-focused plans of action prior to actual purchase being made. At the same time, demand management seeks to minimize costs of serving multiple types of customers who have variable wants and needs. That it is difficult to predict exactly what items and quantities customers will buy prior to the purchase, demand management must ease pressure on the production process and allow companies to satisfy most of their customers through greater flexibility in manufacturing, marketing, and sales programs. One key way this occurs is through the sharing of customer demand forecasts and data during sales and operation planning meetings. During these meetings, the demand generating functions of the business work together with production side of business in collaborative arrangement designed to both satisfy customers and maximize and minimize waste. One of the most fundamental processes in supply chain management is the order fulfillment process, which involves generating, filling, delivering, and providing on the spot service for customer orders. The order fulfillment process is a highly integrated process, often requiring persons from multiple companies and multiple functions to come together and coordinate to create customer satisfaction at a given place and time. The best order fulfillment process reduces order cycle time, which is the time between order and the customer receipt, and ensuring that the customer receives exactly what he or she wanted. The shorter lead times are beneficial in that they allow firms to carry reduced inventory levels and free up cash that can be used on other projects. The manufacturing flow management process is concerned with ensuring that the firm in the supply chain have needed resources to manufacture with flexibility and move products through the multi-stage production process. It means creating flexibility agreements with suppliers and shippers so that unexpected demand bursts can be accommodated without disruption to customer service satisfaction. The goal of the manufacturing flow management process are centered on leveraging the capabilities held by multiple members of the supply chain to improve overall manufacturing output in terms of quality, delivery, speed, and flexibility, all which tie directly to profitability. Supply chain managers may choose between a lean or agile supply chain strategy. With a lean supply chain strategy, products are built before demand occurs, but managers attempt to reduce as much waste as possible. Agile strategy lie on the other end of the spectrum. They prioritize customer responses more than waste reduction. Instead of trying to focus demand on waste reduction, agile supply chains wait for demand to occur and use communication and flexibility to fill that demand quickly. The supplier relationship management process is closely related to manufacturing flow management process and contains several characteristics that parallel the customer relationship management process. The manufacturing flow management process is highly dependent on supplier relationships for flexibility. Supplier relationship management provides structural support for developing and maintaining the relationship with suppliers. Supplier relationship management supports manufacturing flow by identifying and maintaining relationships with highly valued suppliers. Close-knit, integrated relationship with suppliers provides a means through which performance advantages can be gained. The supplier relationship management process has direct impact on each supply chain management's bottom line financial performance. The product development and commercialization process includes the group of activities that facilitates the joint development and marketing of new offerings among a group of supply chain partner firms. In many cases, more than one supply chain entity is responsible for ensuring new product success. Commonly, a multi-company collaboration is used to execute in new product development, testing, and launch, among other activities. Designing a new product with the help of suppliers and customers can enable a company to introduce features and cost-cutting measures into the final product. Customers provide information about what they want from the product, while suppliers can help design for quality and manufacturability. Research has shown that when each supply chain partner shares responsibility for the design and manufacture of a new product, the more obstacles can be identified early and opportunities for cost reduction are made possible. The final supply chain management process deals with situations in which customers choose to return a product to the retailer or supplier, thereby creating a reverse flow of goods within the supply chain. The return management process enables firms to manage volumes of returned product efficiently while minimizing returns related costs and maximizing the value of the return asset to the firm in the supply chain. Returns have potential to affect the firm's financial position in major negative ways if mishandled. The handling returns quickly creates a positive image and gives the company additional opportunities to please the customer. And customers who have a positive experience with return management process can become very confident buyers who are willing to reorder since they know any problems they encounter will be quickly and fairly rectified. The return management process allows the firm to recognize weaknesses in product design and our areas for potential improvement through direct customer feedback and initiates the response. Several technological advantages and business trends are affecting the job of supply chain management today. Some of the business trends that are affecting supply chain management include outsourcing logistics, maintaining a secure supply chain and minimizing supply chain risks, and maintaining a sustainable supply chain. Outsourcing or contract logistics is a rapidly growing initiative in which manufacturers or suppliers turn over an entire logistic function to an independent third-party logistic company. These service providers sell logistics solutions instead of physical product. Common 3PL products and services include managed warehouse space, transportation solutions, information sharing, manufacturing, postponement, and enhanced technological innovation. Since many firms do not view order fulfillment as a core competency, they often outsource this function to 3PL that specializes in the order fulfillment process. The 3PL becomes a semi-permanent part of the firm's supply chain and is assigned to manage one or more specialized functions. A more comprehensive, often known as a fourth-party logistic company or 4PLs or logistic integrators, create a management entire solutions for getting products where they need to be, when they need to be there. Many times 3PLs and 4PLs provide a firm's only interaction with the customers, so they need to represent the needs and interests of the entire firm and the supply chain. Outsourcing enables a company to cost inventory, locate stock in fewer plants and distribution centers, and still provide the same level of services or even better. The companies then can refocus investments on their core business. Because logistics service providers is focused on logistic functions only, clients receive better services in a timely, efficient manner, thereby increasing their customer satisfaction and boosting the perception of added value to the company's offering. In many recent instances, North American companies have been offshoring or outsourcing logistics to service providers located in countries with lower labor costs. As fuel costs have risen, security issues become more prominent, and many companies have begun to relocate outsourced operations closer to home. closer to home. Nearshoring is locations such as Mexico or Caribbean nations to ensure low costs while reducing supply chain risk. Nearshoring not only allows a company to manufacture its products more closely to major demand centers, it also gives suppliers a chance to make its presence known at a local level. Sometimes the magnitude of supply chain dilemma is too great for a company and its suppliers or outsourcing partners to handle alone. Increasingly, this is leading firms to work together with government agencies to form the Public Private Partnership (PPP). PPPs are critical in satisfying of both company and societal interests and provide mechanisms by which very large scale problems or opportunities can be addressed. PPPs will likely factor into solutions of future national global supply chain problems as well. Electronic distribution includes any kind of product or service that can be distributed electronically, whether over traditional forms such as fiber optic cable or through satellite transmission or electronic signals. In the near future, however, electronic distribution will not be limited only to products and services that are mostly composed of information that can therefore be easily digitized. Experiments with three-dimensional printing, 3DP, has successful in industries such as auto parts, biomedical, and even fast food. Using 3DP technology, objects are built to precise specifications and using raw materials at or near the location where they'll be consumed. Some benefits of 3DP are smaller localized supply chains will become the norm. More manufacturers will produce many more custom products than ever before. 3DP removes the need for transportation of goods to distribution centers and retailers. It can help create a positive impact on businesses' carbon footprint and the environment at large. Global markets present their own sets of challenges for supply chain managers. The allure for foreign market is strong due to increasing demand for imported products worldwide. Globalization has brought great uncertainty for modern companies and specifically their supply chain. Moving operations offshore exposes companies to risks associated with geopolitical conflicts, foreign nationalization of assets, knowledge diffusion, and highly variable quality standards. Foreign suppliers are often less reliable, and due to the lengthening of supply chain, variability in transportation services can lead to service failure. From a supply management standpoint, it often makes sense to produce goods and services from offshore suppliers. From an economical perspective, lower labor rates, government subsidies, and low material costs are attractive, but often sometimes outweighed by the cost of quality variations and the loss of intellectual property. Companies moving offshore must carefully consider the pros and cons and build supply management systems that can manage very diverse tasks. Logistically, it is critical for importers of all sizes to understand and cope with legalities of trade in other countries. As companies lengthen their global supply chains in search of cost advantages or Other less obvious risks emanating from outside the immediate supply chain are also starting to come into play. Longer shipping lanes can expose shipments to natural disasters and extreme weather. Political instability and trade restrictions can abruptly halt or slow shipments. Fluctuations in currency values and border delays can diminish the value of the product while they are on path to the customer. And theft and piracy can present a greater threat due to increased time of exposure. Many companies are now creating contingency plans so they can react quickly when something goes wrong. Free trade is expanding, and consumers in nations where demand has traditionally been low are viewing goods and placing orders via the internet. In addition to outsourcing, globalization, PPPs, and 3D printing, other advancements in data technology are beginning to exert an impact on the effectiveness and efficiency of the supply chain. First, a rapidly increasing prevalence of power computers and methods of capturing customers, suppliers, and company information over the past 2 decades has resulted in the appearance of big data. Informed terms for the explosive availability of data that has been traditionally been hard to capture, store, manage, and analyze. There's indeed more information available about supply chain operations than ever before, but the challenge of extracting usable data from this information is also very great. In order to harvest more useful information, many companies are using cloud computing, a collaborative on big data projects and analyzing findings in a quick and cost-effective manner. As a result, many organizations are seeking to develop capabilities for supply chain analytics. Supply chain analytic programs that can interpret big data have great potential for improving supply chain operations. Advanced technology enabled by big data is also improving supply chain operations. Fundamentally, acquisitions and analysis of big data allows a company to replace human reasoning with faster and more efficient decisions. As a result, combined with supply chain analytics, a company can automate many of its supply chain processes rather than using human labor. Many tasks that are done repeatedly require significant precision can accomplish more cheaply and accurately with robots. Cloud-based robots are already being used for large-scale production tasks such as automotive, airplanes, and manufacturing. A final consideration related to technology advancement, sensory equipment that connects physical objects to decision-making analytics via the internet is beginning to emerge. The Internet of Things, which allows physical objects to relay specific information over the internet without over human reaction. Marketing channels can be viewed as a channel or pipeline through which products, their ownership, communication, financial and payment, and accompanying risk flow to the consumer. A marketing channel, also called a channel of distribution, is a business structure of independent organization that reaches from one point of the production to the consumer and facilitates the downstream physical movement of goods through the supply chain. Channels represent the place or distribution element of the marketing mix, in that they provide a route for the company's product and service to flow to the customer. The marketing channel is the downstream portion of the supply chain that connects the producer with the customer, whereas the upstream supply chain members are in charge of moving component parts or raw materials to the producer. Members of the marketing channel propel finished goods to the consumer and or provide services that facilitate additional customer value. Channel members negotiate with one another, buy and sell products, and facilitate the exchange of ownership between buyer and seller in the course of moving finished goods from manufacturer to the hands of the final customer. As products move towards the final consumer, channel members facilitate the distribution process by providing specialization and division of labor, overcoming discrepancies, and providing contact efficiency. Marketing channels attain economies of scale through specialized and divisions of labor by aiding upstream producers in marketing to end users or consumers. Producers engage other channel members, such as wholesalers and retailers, to do what producers are not willing to do themselves. Some channel members can accomplish certain tasks more efficiently, and others because they have built strategic relationships with key suppliers or customers or have a unique capabilities. Marketing channels are valuable because they aid producers in creating time, place, and exchange utility for customers, such as products become aligned with their needs. Producers who sit at the top of the supply chain provide form utility. When they transform oats grown to a distant farm to Cheerios that will be eaten for breakfast. Time and place utility are created by channel members when, for example, transport company hires by the producer physically moves boxes of cereal to a store near our home in time for our next scheduled shopping trip, and the retailer, who's often closest channel member to the customer, provides a desired product for some amount of money we are reasonably willing to give, creates the exchange of utility. Intermediaries in a channel negotiate with one another, facilitate transfer of ownership for finished goods between buyers and sellers, and physically move products from the producer towards the final consumer. The most prominent difference separating intermediaries is whether they take title to the product. Taking title means they actually own the merchandise and control the term of sale. A merchant, wholesaler, or organizations that facilitate the movement of products and services from the manufacturer to producers, resellers, governments, institutes, and retailers. All merchant wholesalers take title to the goods they sell, and most of them operate one or more warehouses where they receive finished goods, store them, and later reship them to retailers, manufacturers, and institutional clients. Other intermediaries do not take title to goods and services they market, but do facilitate an exchange of ownership between seller and buyer. Agent and brokers facilitate the sales of product downstream by representing the interests of the retailers, wholesalers, manufacturers to potential customers. Unlike merchant wholesalers, agent or brokers only facilitate sales and generally have little input in the terms of sale. They do, however, get a fee or commission based on the sales volume. Many different variations in channel structures are possible, with choice made based on large parts of numbers and types of wholesaling intermediaries that are most desirable. Generally, product characteristics, buyer considerations, and market conditions determine the types and number of intermediaries the producer should use as follows. Customized or highly complex products such as computers, specialty foods, or custom uniforms are usually sold through an agent or broker who may represent one or more multiple companies. In contrast, standardized products such as soda or toothpaste are often sold through merchant wholesalers and retailer channels. Buyer considerations such as purchase frequency or customer wait time influence channel choice. When there's no time pressure, customers may save money on books by ordering online and taking direct distribution from warehouse. Market characteristics such as how many buyers are in the market and whether they are concentrated in general location or also influence channel design. Retailers are those firms in the channel that sell directly to consumers as their primary function. Critical role fulfilled by retailers within marketing channel is they provide a contact efficiency for consumers. Retailers simplify distribution by reducing the number of transactions required by the consumers and by making an assortment of goods available in one location. Intermediaries in marketing channels perform three essential functions that enable goods to flow between producers and consumers. Transactional function involves contacting and communicating with prospective buyers to make them aware of existing products and to explain their features, advantages, and benefits. Intermediaries in the channel also provide logistic functions. Logistic functions typically include transportation and storage of assets as well as sorting, accumulation, consolidation, and allocation for the purpose of conforming to the consumer requirements. The third basic channel function is facilitating, includes research and financing. Research provides information about the channel members and consumers by getting answers to key questions such as who are the buyers, where are they located, what do they buy. Financing ensures that the channel members have money to keep products moving through the channel and to ultimately the consumer. Omnichannel versus multi-channel marketing. Multi-channel marketing, consumers are offered information, goods, services, and or support through one or more synchronized channels. It creates a redundancy and complexities in the firm's distribution system. Selling through multiple channels is typically accompanied by the construction of multiple parallel supply chains, each with its own inventory, processes, and performance metrics. Each channel would operate different transportation and distribution systems, hold an account for its own inventory, and otherwise act as an independent sales and profit center with little knowledge of others. Omnichannel marketing. Companies that are omnichannel marketing allow customers to reserve items online for pickup at nearby stores, offer a web-based find in-store feature that displays real-time stock information and prevents unnecessary trips to the store, provide in-store computer terminals or iPads that the consumers can use to search company website for products that local stores may not carry. It helps unify retail interface so that customers receive equal and efficient service, helps retailers merge the distribution channels by making their inventory data available to customers in real time, and creates greater customer control over the shopping experience, leading to greater satisfaction and loyalty. Again, I want to thank you for listening to this presentation. If you have any questions, please reach out to me.